I'm saying if the people in Palestine would resemble the people in Ethiopia.
I think the Kushite would have been present, and those people would have carried
what
the
happened is
message.
that you refute the name Ethiopia then. We'll stop using the name Ethiopia. Kushite then. So the people in Palestine would resemble the Kushites them then.
Yes, and if we are talking about
I want to help some of my people.
But there are also other peoples living in the area at this time.
Yes, but anyway, one story is this now. When a lot of my brethren and sisters believe that the guy what them call Jesus was a white man, are they correct or not correct?
I mean, I would be very clear. They would be incorrect.
Some people scared of heights. Some people scared of ghosts. Some people just scared of the truth.
Them can't take on off a fool. The benky. Nibibam.
Kush, which spans from, the Kandaka queens, Kushite queens. You see, we know say King Tahaka was a Kushite king who lived in about the 7th century BC. And we know so the very first king who established this civilization on the Nile Valley was a Kushite king, Narmamenes. So, and all the kings who re-established order when order was broken down, mainly because of invasions through the Asiatics, came from ancient Ethiopia. Kash. Again, we have to clarify this. I don't think I clarified this in the other video. Sometimes I will interchange the word Kush with Kash. Why? Kash is what's in the glyphs, the hieroglyph made in nature. It's spelled K with a cup or a kettle, A with the vulture, the bird, and then like a square with some little water in it, which represents a pool. So the K say K, and then the bird say ah, right? Because that's the sound of the bird make naturally. If you watch that particular vulture bird, it's gonna say ah, ah. So that's where the sound and the drawing from the letter A come from, that particular bird. And then now, the pool. Why the pool? The pool is it gives the sound SH. Shh. Why? When you chuck off in the pool, that's where you got ear. So that's how Kush is spelled, with a kettle, a vulture bird, and then a pool. Weird, right? But this is where language systems come from. And the elder was right exactly when he interjected that the hieroglyphic is a pictographic language, and I thank him for that, because when he said that, he sent me go right now where I wanted to go with the conversation. But then in the conversation now, him interrupt me so many times that me get so distracted from African history and end up back in a Western mythology. So I just have to be clear. When we are develop along these lines, we have to be distinct. It don't make sense you call a group of people and the first thing you got to talk about is their religion. You're not going to go nowhere with that. All right? So just establish the history as it is told, and then we look at the mythology as it is taught, and then we compare our opinion and belief. So you match up the all three, and know we're up on a track towards some clarity in terms of identity and future security. And that's what we want. So it's two ways you look upon this thing. It's either you're coming out insecure and you don't want to do nothing for go to hell and you want to go to heaven, or you're coming at this to work and develop and leave a legacy upon this planet here. Two ways you look upon any movements you go into, whether religious or as organizational. All right? And I'm into the organizational aspect and development aspect of things. Anyway, on this one, I think, so with that, I must mention, so just throw names. The reason why I throw names is like, sometimes a man born even at the West, his mother might name him David and or Mikey. By the time him reach 2, 3, 4 or 5 them start calling him another nickname based on something, him probably him stammer. If him stammer and stutter, every time him talk, people might just call him stammer, right? And if him have dark skin, they might just call him blacker, all right? And if him kind of fat, they might just call him bigger. So the birth name different from the nickname, right? So we see that consistent in ancient African Kushite and the Kemetic legacy as well, where the birth name, the nickname, and the throne name becomes like an evolution, right? Like for example, we know Ramses II, full throne name, Ursur Ma'at Ra Setepen Ra. How that translated in the glyph now, in the writing, you see the lady with the feather sit down on a stool. She named Ma'at. And you see she have in her hand this thing with like a dog face on a stick. That name Usur, that mean power. That are the Usur, right? They mean power. So, and then now you have like Ra, like you see a circle above it to represent the sun. And then below the lady now you have like next little like a sickle. I don't know if it describe that. And then you have a next circle with will represent Ra, right? So the Usur mean power, and then Ma'at sit down upon the throne mean justice and balance and peace. And then the sickle below Ma'at, the lady of justice, represent chosen, chosen, to be chosen. So to be the chosen people have always been within the title and the names of these ancient kings. So they would connect that they are chosen. They are the chosen ones. All right, so this we connect back to Kushite roots, the idea of being a chosen one or a person or a people, because we can see it right in the throne names of the king. So Ramses II or Ramesu is another nickname given to him, but his true name when he take the throne, name Ursur, power, Ma'at, justice and balance, Ra, the Most High, and then Setepen, to be chosen. All right, so chosen by God to rule with justice, right, can be one translation, or twice beloved, chosen of the Most High. So the translation and transliteration can vary, and that is why when you take a pictographic language and you translate it into words, you already have a variation right there. And then when you translate again from one language to the next language, you already have variations. So it's quite impossible for an institution to keep the word the same exact way and meaning an institution for 2,000 years. All right, they can do the best that they can do, but human beings will evolve, or in some cases devolve, and that change interpretation and language and the sounds and all of that stuff. So that was we talk about Ramses in the 19th dynasty. He was the second one to rule in the 19th dynasty. We know before, or the third one, because we know before that you have Setai 1 and 2. And then after Ramses II, who is Ursur Ma'at Ra, Setepen Ra, you have Ramses III, all right, who is Meneptah. And in his reign, we have this another historical document which I will mention here, and then we come back and deal with it. It's called the Meneptah Stela. A stele is like a stone that kings use to record them victories, like a slab of stone, like the Rosetta Stone. It records something. All right, victories are something that happened in the king life. So the Meneptah Stele, and that stele, we got an important piece of history, because during his reign, when he fought against this migration of the sea people, and in his reign, it is established that he had, after defeating them, because at the time them people them just not wicked, right? So even after them defeat the enemy, them now gonna just wipe them out. So he placed the palisade to live in Gaza. So today the Palestinians who live in Gaza, we can take their history based upon the Meneptah Stela and what Sheikh Antioch said in his work, that the palisade were people who were among the sea peoples who were fleeing from the Mediterranean coast and the Aegean Sea. They were fleeing from some catastrophe right around the Iron Age. All right, and they were settled in a Gaza as the palisade. Today they are the Palestinians. And this document also records the first time in history that the name Israel will be mentioned. And this is in history now, not mythology. And this would be around 1000 or about 1100 BC. Within that span. This would be about 1100 BC. All right? The Meneptah Stela introduces the term Israel into history from the African perspective. And from the African perspective, this was a people who King Meneptah had gone to war with and had to expel from the land as well. So this distinction between history and mythology, it becomes very sensitive to work out. All right? And we have to work it out with all due respect, where the idea is we're seeking our identity with respect to others who have established their history, their stories, and full agency, their economy, their institutions. But we believe that it's important for us to get to the core of, as African people, our own history, develop our own stories and mythologies, institutions, and agency from that. Thank you so much.
Some people scared of heights.
Follow the Benky youth, hold on tight.